Welcome back to another episode of Great Moments in Birthism. I'm your host Epictetus. And today is the 14th of September, 2009. The place? The Columbus, Georgia courtroom of the Honorable Clady Land. The case? Rhodes vs. MacDonald. The case proved out as a veritable motherlode of conspiracist crazy. In fact, there is so much nitrous-fueled nuttiness in the transcript that we could not possibly get around to covering it all. But in this first of several installments, we begin to explore the unique legal mind that is Dr. Orly Taitz Esquire. We join the action already underway.
Dr. Rhodes, you have mentioned that you are concerned about protection of Geneva Convention when you are deployed overseas, if you are not following lawful orders.
Yes, ma'am.
What would be the consequences for you, if indeed you are captured, and you don't have the protection of Geneva Convention?
My understanding. I don't have the Geneva Convention specifications in front of me. But my understanding is that, if you are not following a lawful order, you are not afforded convention protections. Which includes basically, what I understand, is a Bill of Rights of sorts. As a prisoner. For example.
Have you heard of American servicemen being beheaded in Iraq?
Yes, ma'am.
So, if you don't have such protection, you can be beheaded.
In theory. Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard of instances where?
Objection, Your Honor. This line of questioning is not relevant to these proceedings.
Sustained. She said that she is concerned about going over there with the present commander-in-chief as president because she thinks that she may lose some of her Geneva protection rights. That's her contention. She said that. I don't think she can add anything to it.
So?
Go on to something else.
What Judge Land did not yet realize is exactly who he was dealing with. No one ultimately gets away with telling Dr. Orly Taitz Esquire, the bleached blonde band leader of Birth the Bombast, to go on to something else. Through hell or high water, she would get back to her point eventually.
Captain Rhodes. When you are deployed over in Iraq, you are going to be serving as a medical doctor. Yes, ma'am. And you are going to be caring for sick and injured soldiers. Among others. Yes, ma'am. And you have no projection right now to be performing combat duties. No projection at this time. However, it is my understanding. I mean, it is a war zone. And that possibility. Well, you seem to be pretty familiar with the Geneva Conventions. I assume that you are aware that, under the Geneva Conventions, you are considered a non-combatant as a medical doctor. Yes, ma'am. So you would be a non-combatant and unable to perform any combat duties, correct? Correct, ma'am. Thank you.
If I might redirect, specifically in regards to those questions. Ms. Osprung has mentioned that possibility of Dr. Rhodes being beheaded. Thus improper line of questioning. Now, if she is not a combatant, but a medical doctor, if you are captured. Even if you are not combatant. If you are captured, can you be beheaded?
In theory, yes. Your Honor, this line.
Sustained. I assume the objection was irrelevant?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let me just make sure that I understand this. If the medical doctor goes to Iraq as a medical doctor and not to serve in the combat zone, and they are therefore designated as a non-combatant. If some terrorist in Iraq were to capture that doctor and behead them. That would be a violation of the Geneva Convention, regardless of who's president. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So the concern about being beheaded as a non-combatant medical doctor exists, whether the president is Obama, Bush, Reagan, or George Washington, correct?
Correct, sir.
Let's go on to something else.
It was suddenly as clear as Charles Lincoln's prose. Orly had a new opponent in the courtroom. And he sat behind the bench, wearing a black robe. This was the moment at which the trial took a turn to the dark side. It was no longer Rhodes versus MacDonald. It was now Taitz versus Land, in an epic battle of jurisprudence. Orly had not yet begun to fight. But at least one question remained. Would Judge Land let her finish? Until next time, this is Epictetus leaving you with a final thought. You say Sotoro, and I say Obama. You say Coast Province, and I say Kapiolani. Sotoro, Obama, Coast Province, Kapiolani. Let's call the whole thing batshit crazy.